Today we've learned 4 games already as part of our work towards the Handheld Game Challenge. We've learned Ukiyo, we've learned Mind Burners, we've learned Unexploded Cow, and we've tried to learn Cat in the Box. Now, off you go, you lot. Go on. And now we're going to learn Tussie Mussie, which is our first button shy game. We got it with the expansion, but we're not going to play it with the expansion today because I don't reckon you should learn games with the expansion first. So this one's designed by Elizabeth Hargrave. You've probably heard of her before. She's also the designer of Wingspan and Mariposas. And she's got a game that has just funded on Kickstarter, the Fox Experiment, which we're really looking forward to seeing too. And this is just a tiny, tiny wee game. So let's have a look and see what's in this lovely wee folder. Beautiful cards. Okay, so they seem to be in little sets. That's the solo expansion, which we don't need right now, so that can go out of the way. So I've never really understood how an 18 card game works. I bought this one specifically because I wanted to learn how 18 card games work, so let's find out what the rules are. Okay, so it is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and it plays in 30 minutes.
Tussie Mussie has exemplified the Victorian custom of assigning meaning to the flowers that friends and lovers exchanged. Inspired by the ideals of elegance and discretion, these bouquets were carefully made to convey subtle messages to the recipients. Then you can choose the right flowers to make a winning Tussie Mussie of your own. Setup. Shuffle all 18 cards and place them face down in a deck. Allow room for a discard pile. Well, that's straightforward. Gameplay. The game consists of 3 rounds. Each round, players will take turns offering cards to their neighbor, as described below, followed by before scoring actions and scoring. The way offerings work. Offers. For 2 players, players alternate offering cards until both have 4 cards. Turn structure. Each turn, the active player or offerer makes an offer of flowers to the recipient. The offerer draws 2 cards and looks at them. They place one face up and one face down on the table as an offer for the recipient. And for flavor, you can say the face up flowers meaning, example, you have deceived me.
You're a flame in my heart.
The recipient chooses 1 card from the offer and adds it as the rightmost card in their arrangement, keeping its face up or face down orientation. The offerer takes the other card and adds it as the rightmost card in their arrangement. The arrangement, or your arrangement, is the set of cards a player has collected kept on the table in front of them. Cards are added to arrangements from left to right and cannot be rearranged. Keepsakes. The face-down cards in a player's arrangement. A player may look at their keepsakes at any time, then return them face down to the table in their original positions. So at the end of a round, each arrangement will have 4 cards. Each player moves their face-down keepsakes closer to them, creating a second row of cards in their original columns. Okay. Then each player reveals their keepsakes by flipping them face up, keeping them in their original columns. Players now simultaneously take actions specified on their cards that say before scoring. Actions may be taken in any order the player chooses. Scoring. Each player will score their arrangement, scoring each card from left to right as follows. Each heart icon is worth 1 point. Cards may have additional scoring conditions. Record the scores for each player. If 3 rounds have been completed, the game is over. Otherwise, shuffle all 18 cards together and start a new round.
You're allowed to say it.
Oh, it does say that. Sorry. I love you.
Yeah.
I didn't notice the text. It's so small.
Okay, well, I'm going to take that.
Okay.
Because that's nice.
And adds it as the rightmost card in their arrangement, so left to right. So, left to right. I'll be building towards, you'll be building towards the window.
Okay.
Now you offer me. Actually, what did I get? I know what I got. I'm the one.
Our souls are united.
Flocks. I will secure that. I am determined.
You are beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, well that is the end of round one. And then we flip these. So we are in the before scoring phase.
And now this is not our bouquet. This is our bouquet.
Up front, yes.
And these are our
keepsakes.
keepsakes. Right.
So I may change up to 2 of my cards, each from bouquet to keepsakes or keepsakes to bouquet. So I'm going to move my honeysuckle up into my bouquet.
Before scoring, I must discard one of my other cards.
Oof.
Carnation. I do not agree. So, goes in the discard pile. Right. So, you do yours first.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
Plus I get +1 point for each card adjacent to this one. So that be another +1. So that's 6 in total. That is no effect, and I don't have any color-based stuff for the orchid. Doesn't trigger.
What does the orchid say?
It counts as any one color. It's like a wild card
right,
color-wise.
okay.
So 6.
I have 2, plus a point for each card in my bouquet, so that's 2, plus a point for each of my red cards, which is 2.
So 6.
Yes.
Oh.
If 3 rounds have been completed, the game is over. Otherwise, shuffle all 18 cards together and start a new round.
If I can riffle shuffle 9 cards. Wasn't the worst. A little painful, but...
Okay. I am determined.
This is a trap. Sorry, we are happy friends. A little late on that, but
You're a flame in my heart.
like after spicy food, or
This is weird.
what? Oh, it's all for you.
I have no bouquet. You have no keepsakes.
Okay.
All right. Let's find out what I got. So mine are all keepsakes, and yours are all bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
Before scoring, you may change up to 2 of your cards, each from bouquet to keepsakes or keepsake to bouquet.
Probably not.
So,
I have to, before scoring, I have to discard one of my other cards. So,
okay. Before scoring, yep, so I've got nothing to change.
so your score is
So 1, 2, 3, and then +1 point for each of your different colour cards. So 1, 2, 3. So that's 6.
6.
Plus 3 points if you have no hearts, but I have
Right.
3 hearts, so that's it.
6 for you.
Yes.
And I have 1 heart, 2, 3, and then plus 1 point for each card in your bouquet, which is 3. So I also have 6. So 6, 6, 6, 6. It's
Given that the last
pretty
game
tight.
wouldn't let us have 6s at all.
yes, it's coming in.
Having every 6 now. All of them. Collect the whole 6. Can't believe how many games we've played and learnt today. Alright, so... final round.
I love you.
Ah, that's nice. You have deceived me. Also, did you know that dried snapdragons look like skulls and make amazing, like, spooky flower arrangements?
I think I saw something on the social needs.
I will see if I can find that picture and cut it into this video because it's amazing. Snapdragons are one of my favourite flowers. I used to love them as a kid.
That's maybe a bad choice. But
Thanks for letting me hit the snapdragon.
You're welcome. This is true love.
I love you.
I accept.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Here we go. I have no before actions.
Oh, I do. Before scoring, you may change up to 2 of your cards from bouquet to keepsakes or keepsakes to bouquet. Going to move this up into the bouquet. Here we go. Good.
Alright, so I have 2 hearts, so that's 2. I get plus 1 point for each of my red cards, including this one, so that's another 2, up to 4. I get a plus 1 point for each of your hearts, which is 2, so I'm up to 6. And I get plus 2 points if you have exactly 2 cards in your bouquet, so that's 2, so I'm up to 8. And this one I'm not sure about, but here it says plus 1 point for each card adjacent to this one in your bouquet. Do you think it has to be in my bouquet for that to apply?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. Let's check.
Yes. I would kind of read it that way, but this is in my bouquet and it's adjacent to this card.
So some scoring conditions specify that adjacent cards must be in your bouquet or keepsakes. In that case, it says in your bouquet. So given that it needs to be in the bouquet, I would read it, and it's in your keepsakes.
Okay.
That's what it seems to say here. So some scoring conditions may specify that adjacent cards must be in your bouquet or keepsakes. What does it say?
Plus 1 point for each card adjacent to this one in your bouquet.
Right.
So
And it's not.
for it to apply, you'd think it would have to be in the bouquet with it.
Yeah.
I'll buy that. All right, so that's 8 for me.
Okay, so for me, I have 3. And then plus 3 points if I have no hearts, which is not the case. Plus 1 point for each heart on your cards adjacent to this one, so that's that one.
4.
And that's it. So, you won.
Yes. 16.
Cool.
And we did it.
We played 5 games. Yes.
I learned and played 5 games.
Yes.
Because
yes,
we had
did.
forgotten Unexploded Cow sufficiently that doesn't count as
I'm still not sure we ever actually played it.
Okay.
I feel like we unpacked it. I don't know if we actually played it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, well, that's lovely. This is a nice wee game. All right. Well, so which do you think is going to be useful for a game design you have in progress, and why?
Well, I like Ukiyo because it's sort of my style of cards serving more than one purpose. As I mentioned, we were talking about it, and that's definitely a theme that runs through things I do. They're all card-based, which is sort of nixes that. Well, I guess Cat in the Box is not really. Yes, it is. Of course, there was a hand of cards. But it's not exclusively card-based like the rest of these. I thought there were some lessons to be learned from Mind Burners around how efficient you can be with the stuff that you have and still keep things fun. But I mean, for me, I think Ukiyo is probably the most in line with the way I look at game design.
I think Tussie Mussie is probably the one that's the most useful for me in terms of game design, simply because when I look at the others, I can understand how they got there. And that's the kind of... I wouldn't necessarily design exactly that game, but I can understand how you can make a game like that. Whereas 18 card games that aren't puzzly are really challenging for me. Like Ukiyo, I can understand that, and I can see making that into a bigger game with tiles or all sorts of things. Like, for me, it's almost like a mini version of a lot of games that I already like and play. I love that it's compressed just down into those few cards, and it's a really good and interesting game. But if I had to choose between the two for ones where I need to study how that works, I think Tussie Mussie for me is, because it's so simple, but it's got so much complexity for a simple game that isn't puzzly. So that's where I'm coming from on that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
The winners for the day were the two smallest games.
Yes.
Which I suppose is somewhat appropriate for a handheld challenge.
Correct. And I suppose we should prove that they are handheldable.
No,
so let's see if we can load them into my hand. So I might use the two big ones as a sandwich. And I'm going to come on into here. And then we're going to get this little friend in here. Oh, getting that. And yoink. Yes, we did it. Anyway, so chaos, drama. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.